The McClendon Report, Books and Consulting, Ask or Ask, Donda's Rules, the scholarly works of Dr. Donda West, and Suit Shoes. All available at McClendonReport.com.
John McCain went for the sympathy vote. He wants everyone to pay attention to his new vice presidential candidate, Sarah Palin. She is the youngest person and the first woman to be elected governor of Alaska. A pro-life advocate, finished second in the Miss Alaska pageant, and admits to meeting John McCain for the first time last February. But can she deliver the female vote, swaying the Hillary fanatics to leave the donkey and go for the elephant? You know John McCain's choice is a sexist assumption tonight on Garrard McClendon Live. Welcome to Garrard McClendon Live. The presidential race is set. The day after Barack Obama's history-making acceptance speech, his opponent, Senator John McCain, follows with a history-making move of his own. McCain names his running mate, and she turned out to be a big surprise to just about everyone. The senator's VP choice, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. She's the first Republican woman on a presidential ticket.
Well, it's always, though, safer in politics to avoid risk, to just kind of go along with the status quo. But I didn't get into government to do the safe and easy things. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not why the ship is built. Politics isn't just a game of competing interests and clashing parties. The people of America expect us to seek public office and to serve for the right reasons. Is to challenge the status quo and to serve the common good. Now, no one expects us to agree on everything, whether in Juneau or in Washington, but we are expected to govern with integrity and goodwill and clear convictions and a servant's heart.
Thank you. Wow, that's Sarah Palin. She's challenging the status quo. Joining me to discuss Senator McCain's choice, Charles Butler from the new Coalition for Economic and Social Change. Charles, welcome to Garrard McClendon Live once again, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, Charles, here's the deal, man. What about the vice presidential pick? Give me some thoughts, man.
Well, okay. First of all, let's talk about Joe Biden and Senator Obama's vice presidential pick. It seems from the Gallup polls that last night, I guess the polls they conducted today, that there was no bounce because Joe Biden was on the ticket. I thought that was a great move. I think Senator Biden was a great selection. And Senator Obama gave a great speech, there's no question. Now, today, we were all surprised by the pick of Governor Palin. We really don't know a lot about her, but the more we do research about this lady, I mean, she's tough. She's a real gamer. I think she brings a lot of strength to the party.
Oh, come on now, Charles. Now, let's rewind and go back to Barack's speech. You just gave him a compliment, so I do want to ask you this. Are you complimenting Barack Obama's speech as a speech?
Yes. No, as a speech, or you mean what he said? I'm
talking about as a speech first.
As a speech, it was a great speech.
Okay, now, what about the content?
I think the content was somewhat confusing because there were a lot of contradictions. He came across as saying, on one hand, I don't want to be a tax and spend guy like, or a no tax and spend guy like Bush, but I don't want to be like LBJ and cut taxes and spend just with all these different programs. But he's proposing a budget of $344 billion.
Well, come on, Charles. Look, I'm willing to bet that if a Republican gave that beautiful speech that Barack gave last night, you would be agreeing with the speech. Come on now, Charles.
I'm not disagreeing with the speech.
Okay.
I'm just asking, my question is, how do you get those things accomplished? The president doesn't affect jobs. We could talk about policies that the president may have, but at the end of the day, someone has to be able to pick up the phone and call these folks and say, hey, you have to stop looking for record profit and start putting people to work. Because the first place that folks cut tend to be they lay people off to cut expenses.
So we can't blame George Bush for the economy at all. We can't blame him for all the bad things that happened over the last 8 years.
I blame George Bush for one thing and one thing only.
What is that?
And that's the Iraq War, because he controlled that.
Okay, that's legit. Let's get back to Sarah Palin. Now, come on, man. I'm saying that the Sarah Palin decision was a sexist decision.
I think it was a great decision.
It was a
decision.
It was a sexist decision on the part of John McCain because he's assuming that he can get some sway in the Hillary Clinton pantsuit-wearing voters. Come on now.
Gerard, I have news for you. McCain is back.
Oh.
The Maverick is back.
No.
The McCain that everyone loved is back. Who would have thought this? It was a great move.
44 years old, Sarah Palin,
She's
Alaskan governor.
You know, she has some chops, and the more research that I've done on Sarah, and the more I've listened to people who know her and talk about her, I'm very impressed. I must say, you know, the lady is she's always been a competitor. She stepped into the fray. She has strong commitment. See, I think in that office, at the end of the day, Gerard, the reason I didn't like Hillary, I had to question her ethics. I think the Clintons have shown a strong history of self-interest and not interest for the country.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. And, you know, first of all, to want to be president of the United States, that takes a great deal of arrogance, or you can call it confidence. So I think the majority of presidential candidates are going to possess that.
No question.
You know, and the second thing is, you know, these people still are looked upon as social justice fighters. I mean, you know, were not the Clintons social justice fighters?
No, they weren't.
Oh.
You look at the token appointments that Bill Clinton had in his White House.
Token.
No question.
Oh, you want
compared to George Bush's appointments in-house?
Name one Bill Clinton token appointment.
There were none that were significant. He would never have had a black Secretary of State.
Look,
he would never have had a black Secretary of State.
Okay, so you know, I gotta flip the script on you.
Go ahead.
So is not Sarah Palin a token for John McCain?
Oh, she is totally.
You know what?
Totally solid. The problem that I have with Sarah is one, she only has 2 years of experience, but if you look at the kind of things that this woman has stepped in and committed to, the corruption, I mean, she's taken on, in her first 2 years, she's done things that some politicians wouldn't get around to in 4 years.
Yeah, well, after the break, I do want to talk to you, Charles, about this token thing, because I'm trying to figure out why John McCain didn't choose Mitt Romney, Giuliani,
I love Mitt Romney. I wish he'd chosen Mitt Romney.
Or Lieberman.
I wish he'd chosen Mitt Romney.
And you know, hold on to your comment, because I want to go through these vice presidential picks that he could have taken.
Okay.
And
Let's just deal with two.
We want to pick them one by one, though. You know what? I'm going to be back with you shortly, Charles. Is the Maverick a sexist? Call me, 630-575-TALK. Stay tuned for more Garrard McClendon Live. We'll be back in 2. Wow, my bloggers are telling me that Sarah Palin is capable. Welcome back to Garrard McClendon Live. Joining us now from the Tribune Tower is Charles Butler from the New Coalition for Economic and Social Change. Charles, welcome back.
Thank you.
Charles, you said the Maverick is back.
Maverick's back.
Before we go there, man, let's talk about some of these other vice presidential hopefuls. We have Mitt Romney. Why not Mitt Romney?
I wanted Mitt. I don't know why not Mitt. Because, see, Mitt, we needed Mitt, I thought, in that slot because he could pick up the phone, call anyone in this country or anyone in the world, and they respect his opinion.
Okay.
You know, he's a well-established business guy, multi-billionaire, you know, knows what he's talking about. He's like Paulson, knows what he's talking about. Pick up the phone and say, hey, guy, you know, you're messing this thing up. You know, get it together.
So you don't think the fact that he's a Mormon, that would have hurt him? Because let's face it, Mitt Romney becomes vice president of the United States. Something mysteriously happens to John McCain. Mitt Romney becomes president, and you know, can the United States roll with a Mormon president?
In reality, Gerard, Kennedy was the first Catholic.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, religion is not going to have any bearing in this thing, and I don't know why we get all bent out of shape about religion. Mitt Romney's a first-class guy. He really is. I've met him on several occasions.
Let's look at Giuliani. Mr. 9/11. Why no? Why no?
Because I think, you know, Rudy is Rudy. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, I can't get any traction with Rudy. My people, a number of my people are very close to Rudy. I didn't support Rudy.
Huckabee.
No.
He's a great bass player,
No.
plays in a band.
It's like Bill Clinton in the sax. Same poor state.
Lieberman.
No.
Why not?
Well, he's, you know, he brings nothing to the ticket.
He's king of the flip-floppers, too.
Exactly.
He
He
was a
brings nothing to the
Democrat,
ticket.
then he goes independent. He could have completed the trifecta if John McCain would have picked him, because then he could have been a Republican,
Well,
too.
you know, we wait till his next election, he'll be in the Green Party.
Wow, oh, absolutely. Or you know what? He might join the Mr. Seatbelt himself, you know.
Ralph Nader.
There we go. King of the advocates for consumers. I'm going to
Corvair.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, thank you for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment?
My comment is both vice presidential picks don't make any sense. Because you look at Obama, who's sitting there saying, I'm the anti-Washington establishment, I'm the new guy. And then he picks Biden, who's been in Congress longer than McCain has.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the whole thing about changing newness, just he shoots himself in the foot.
So what about Sarah Palin?
Exactly the same. You have McCain who sits there and says, I'm experienced and I'm ready to lead and I have all this experience from the Senate and from his military background. And then he picks a woman who granted, is a governor and has experience leading a state. Mm-hmm. But she's younger than Obama, and experience-wise is comparable, might even be a little bit less.
So, Jason, why do you think he picked her?
I think, to be perfectly honest, she has a reputation of not sticking with the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. You know, she sat there, the way she got governor was because she ran against the incumbent governor, who was a Republican. And how often does that happen in politics?
Yeah, she did snuff out a lot of corruption up there in Alaska, though. You know,
and God bless her for that.
Yeah.
There should be more politicians, you know, more Americans who demand that.
Thanks for your call, Jason. Appreciate it. Charles, you know, Jason's got some good points here.
No question. And I think Sarah Palin is going to be a very active vice president. She'll snuff out corruption. She's going to make people accountable. She's going to make these corporations accountable. We can't continue to put people out in the streets.
You know,
and these CEOs collect $30 billion and they turn 3,000 folks out without jobs and take their jobs and ship them to China.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I want to ask you this, Charles. I mean, let me ask this quickly. How much should we judge a person by things they've done in the past, or does it depend on what they've done in the past?
I think a lot of it depends on what they've done in the past. I mean, but what we're witnessing in this election is a new standard and new criteria and qualifications for a president.
Yeah.
In the past, you know, I have asked the question on my show a number of times. You know, what are the qualifications? You know, I've looked them up. What are the qualifications? You know,
be 35 years old?
Yeah, but you know, you have to have experience, a track record, something to show that you can handle the job. And I think that Sarah Palin, if you ask me, and the kind of decisions that she's made in the last few years and the kind of issues that she's taken on, she's done more than Barack.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to break shortly, but I'm telling you, Charles, people are the Obama campaign, Freudian slip, is going to look at the beauty pageants of Sarah Palin.
She is beautiful.
Well,
there's no question.
She was runner-up in Miss Alaska back in the day. So we're going, trust me, it's going to come up. Hey, will Clinton supporters jump ship, or will Republicans switch to the Obama-Biden ticket? Call me. Welcome back to Garrard McClendon Live. It looks like Chicago Tribune and CLTV bloggers are giving Sarah Palin a vote of approval here. Joining me is Charles Butler from Tribune Tower. Charles, thanks for sticking around. Okay. Charles, I'm going back to the phones here. I'm going to come up with DWAYNE. DWAYNE, thanks for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment?
Yeah, Gerard, I do have to say that I agree with you. I think it was a very sexist choice that the Maverick tried to use. That it was a very bad chess move. We all know what he's trying to do. He's trying to use the swing vote that Hillary had, the 8 million votes that she had. He had by using a woman VP. But I do believe that the American public will see right through it. I'm telling you, they're going to see right through it.
Yeah.
He always talks about experience. You have a two-time mayor of a small town who's only been governor for 20 months or so. I don't believe she has the experience, and I believe that she will be on that.
Wow, Dwayne, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. Dwayne says that this is a transparent move on the Mavericks' part. I'm going to Gene. Gene, thank you for calling. Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment?
Well, when you ask me if I think McCain is sexist, I don't know if he's that smart to be sexist. I think, once again, his buttons are being pushed. I think basically on the issues of Sarah and her experience, she wants to tap her Alaska oil fields. Great. How does that prove that you're conservative, that you can be responsible with the environment? And I am a Hillary supporter, and I am an Obama supporter, and she will not get my vote, as a woman. And this was a transparent move on McCain, and I will stick with the Democrats this year, and this just proves the point of why I should.
Wow, Gene, thanks for the phone call. I appreciate it. Man, Charles, these folks are serious, man. I got some intelligent callers calling Garrard McClendon Live. The last two callers, Charles, said it was a transparent move. I
don't think so. I think that this lady is very qualified. When I first heard it, I had the same reaction that your callers had. But after carefully listening and researching and people calling me from all over the country to discuss the move, and appointing Governor Palin or Sarah Palin, I think that it was great. I think it was a great move, and it wasn't sexist.
You know, Charles, I've read Governor Palin's credentials today. They are stellar. I want to make that clear because
You know what I like about Sarah Palin,
yes.
Garrard? She has heart, she has guts, she has tenacity, and I see that lacking. Now, Joe Biden has tenacity. I don't think Barack saw that, tenacious.
Yeah.
But McCain certainly is.
But Charles, couldn't John McCain have found a tenacious senator instead of a governor?
I mean,
because
it doesn't
let's
make any
face it,
difference.
Before today, people are like, Sarah Palin, who?
That's okay, but that's the American
the
public.
The state is not even on the mainland.
That's the American public. They will know who she is in the coming weeks. And I think the more you see and the more you hear about this lady, the more you respect her and the more you understand why John McCain chose her. Now, like I said, my choice would have been Mitt Romney.
Okay, I appreciate you giving us the choice.
But at the end of the day, I still may become an Obamacan.
Uh-oh! Charles Butler said it here. This is the exclusive on Garrard McClendon Live. Charles Butler said he might flip over to the Obama-Biden campaign. A Republican votes Democrat. Hold up, Charles. I'm going to Rosanna. Rosanna, thank you for calling Garrard McClendon Live. Talk to me.
Hey, Garrard, when you bring up sexist, as far as I'm concerned, it just shows how out of touch you are. And you've been drinking too much Obama Kool-Aid.
Okay.
John McCain has finally, at this late stage of the game, reached out to conservatives by choosing Sarah. Up until this time, he's thrown us under the bus. I would have never, ever in a million years voted for John McCain.
Okay.
And as of today, New Hope, I was doing cartwheels. I was jumping up and down.
Why?
This woman is because she's pro-gun, pro-life, pro-American. And I live in America. I'm an American. I love her. I'm a conservative. And she has brought on the conservatives. Now the conservatives are turning to John McCain.
Rosanna, is she going to take some of the Democratic votes? Is she going to get them?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine there are some. I would imagine there are some.
Okay, so I got Rosanna. I got to hear this on the record. You don't think John McCain is a sexist?
Not at all.
Oh, you gotta be
conservatives under the bus.
That's right.
This is his outreach to conservatives, sir.
Right.
You don't know about conservatives. I do.
Rosanna, what did John McCain do to his first wife? I'm out of here, Rosanna. Hey.
Probably the same thing as a lot of men have done. you're bringing up real, it is horrible what he did, but that doesn't mean he's a sexist.
Oh,
that means, well, come on, you're really stretching.
What's the definition of a sexist? When you blend prejudice with power, you're a sexist. He misused and abused his first wife. He married the second wife just for the fortune.
The man was right out of Vietnam.
Oh,
Jesus,
man.
give me a break.
I got to go to break. Man, is it a shoe-in for Obama? Let me know. Call me, 630-575-TALK. Stay tuned for more Garrard McClendon Live. We'll be back in a moment.
The McClendon Report, Books and Consulting, Ask or Ask, Donda's Rules, the scholarly works of Dr. Donda West, and Suit Shoes. All available at McClendonreport.com.